Up next, we have Josh Snyder, CEO of the Niva Labs.
Okay, thank you everyone here we go, let me get the slide deck. Okay, yep, thank you, Brad. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today about our company, the Niva Labs. Our company has two major focuses. The first is the Niva Labs, which is a California licensed cannabis testing lab. We're located in Los Angeles. And the second major thrust of our company is a contract research division, which is serving pharmaceutical biotech as well as cannabis and CBD companies. And our mission really is to provide excellent testing to the California cannabis market and CBD market. Also, we provide product development services to the product development support for cannabis and CBD companies, and then brand elevating research for the industry too. And what really makes us different is the focus on quality, customer service, and collaborative partnerships where we're helping to solve problems, not just do testing. We also have the best technology available, and we're very unique in that 2/3 of our team has advanced degrees and accomplished research backgrounds. So the opportunity for testing is, a $4 billion and growing market in cannabis in California. Estimated revenues for testing labs last year were about 100 million. And we also can test products for CBD, hemp, nutraceutical, and food and beverage industries. Now, the second opportunity is contract research, and our clients are pharma and biotech companies who have an annual budget of about $190 billion globally for research, and 25% of that is outsourced to contract research labs like ours, and that number is growing rapidly. The outsourcing trend is continuing with 11% annual growth in that market. And so we have four major revenue streams. In the early days, cannabis testing is what we've always anticipated to be our major revenue stream. However, that could change very quickly. We have hemp and CBD testing, consulting revenues, and the contract research we anticipate becoming by far the biggest source of revenue going forward, with the potential for a total of 74 million annual revenue by 2024 for the company. We're unique again because most labs derive all or most of their revenue from testing. However, we're much more diversified. We have contract research, consulting, and other revenue streams. And of course, every testing lab provides testing. A few provide troubleshooting, and even fewer help companies with product development. But what makes us very unique is that we provide research for cannabis and CBD companies, and those are paid contracts. We've already had good traction in that area, and I don't know of any other testing lab that's also doing supporting drug development in pharmas and biotechs. So that's where we really set ourselves apart. So our background, we come from cannabis testing, contract research, pharma and biotech, and cancer drug development. That's what I was doing before I founded the company. And we have, again, PhDs with very accomplished research backgrounds. And the sales team we've brought on very recently has had excellent traction, really getting us going on sales. And you can see here, for the testing revenue here at the top, we're in kind of exponential growth phase. We received our license from the BCC in April. And since then, our revenue is increasing very quickly, especially since we just brought on the new sales team, who's got us going in the right direction here. We believe. And contract research has been solely me bringing in some clients. I've signed about 172,000 in studies. That's been increasing very quickly. The month of July has been already by far our best quarter, with another 100,000 in proposals pending. And we also see this as perfect time for market entry too in the cannabis testing market, because we learned from mistakes of other labs. We saw some things go wrong with the labs. We saved money and time from those lessons. And then we've also avoided pitfalls of early licensing. Some labs had problems with not being able to meet the requirements of compliance for the state and having damaged reputations or being suspended. And we also, during the pre-launch phase, we developed a number of services that other labs typically don't have. And what we've seen really bottom line is that we're offering some services that the market's been missing, which you can see in some testimonials here. We've worked with several major brands, and these companies have all really been at a lack to find a good research partner that is also a testing lab. So we found a good niche for ourselves here. And so to date, all of our funding has come from a single family and revenue that we've generated so far. And we're looking to raise $2 million in additional funding to grow the business rapidly. We see opportunities to really accelerate our research area of the company. We've seen a number of demand for some of our newer service offerings lately. And you know, that funding, 2/3 approximately would go to equipment, and then sales and marketing and new hires being the other sources or uses for funds. So that's all I have. Thank you very much. I've answered any questions.
Thank you, Josh.
I'll go. So great presentation, Josh. We work with a number of parties that you engage, and I saw testimonials from. So that's great. Going back to yeah, totally. The 10% of the market via 24 with a $74 million revenue by then. Can you sort of break down what your thoughts are on what audience that's going to come from? Is that going to be derived mostly from research parties where you're assisting them on the product development side, or the sort of more traditional potency and microbial tests and otherwise?
Sure. So that $74 million number on total revenue is, we're estimating about 2/3 of that or more to come from the research, with probably the biggest source of that coming from pharma and biotech. We've also had cannabis and CBD companies that are a significant source of that contract research revenue too, and about a quarter to a third from testing.
And then on top of that, Josh, myself, I used to have a testing lab in Vegas, Denver. For your budget, how much of your budget are you going to actually put towards the lobbyist? Because one of the big issues in testing is you have a lot of growers that are anti-testing due to the cost of it. So how much of that budget, the money you're raising, actually can put towards the lobbyist to make sure that testing requirements are enforced and actually get increased over time as well too?
Sure. That's, I don't have a number for you offhand what that number needs to be. Yeah, that's a little bit out of my area. That would be probably a good question for our sales and marketing team.
Okay, no problem. Thank you though.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, question for you. I mean, you have the analytical lab, which provides some revenue today. It doesn't seem like that's really a major focus for you in your growth. Is that an accurate statement? You're really focused on your contract research and biotech development and pharma development?
Well, I think that's the biggest opportunity, long term. However, I'm definitely not minimizing the opportunity with testing. It is a very good opportunity too. We're just devoting 2 different teams and sets of equipment, and ultimately two different spaces to those 2 different efforts. So my projection is that in the next year, testing is probably a little bit bigger, but a couple years from now, research is bigger.
Yeah, I mean, just with that as a follow-up, your 10% of the market's a very large percentage of the market in a segment that is probably not where you're going to focus most of your time and attention. And I would maybe focus on the area that you see the fastest and greatest opportunity for you guys. It jumped out to me as maybe not where you're focusing your time anyway.
Right, sure. Well, yeah, I personally spend a lot more of my time on the research side, but our lab director is 100% on the testing side.
Josh, there are a number of CROs in the United States and Canada that have relatively good track records. How, as a new CRO, do you see yourself competing?
Sure. So the major source of business so far is from my network, from contract research and pharma and biotech. So that's already a very good base for us to draw on. But going forward, we do need to. We're forming partnerships with other CROs. We're getting a lot of referrals that way, and we're also going to be dedicating marketing and sales efforts. That's part of what the raise is for too. To that, and we also position ourselves as a niche CRO because we're taking on, smaller CROs are able to provide better attention to more difficult projects. That's where we come in, and we're also catering especially to any pharmas doing cannabinoid drug development, and we'll have some other niches for cancer drug development where we have specialized expertise too.